Did you know that there are some easy things you can do on your virtual interview to come across more likable and competent? These tips will not substitute preparing for your interview, but if you just prepare your interview as if it was an in-person interview, you might not be performing quite as well during your interview as you could have if you knew these simple tricks that I'm about to share with you today. I'm Dr. Alyssa with International Dentist Central, your companion in your journey to becoming a U.S. dentist. Are you subscribed to our channel yet? If not, take a moment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified when new videos like this one is released. And like this video if you found it helpful. If you have an interview coming up, we have a course named Interview Mastery where you take a course and do practice interviews with us to prepare for your interview. It is a really thorough process, and so many candidates have shared with us that our process improved their interview readiness by a lot. I'll link it up in the description below so you can get more information about it. Interview Mastery does have a module on virtual interviews as well. It goes a lot deeper into the topic than what I can today in this video. Virtual interviews, whether the platform is Zoom or something else, it is different from an in-person interview because both the interviewer and the interviewee are sitting in front of computers. You look into cameras and you see each other through a screen. Most standard interview preparation tips still hold for virtual interviews. You should still prepare your answers, obviously. But I just wanted to share a few extra things that are not that hard to do. Number one, it's tricky to remember to look into the camera while you speak. But if you watch a video of somebody speaking and not look into the camera, like that, it's a little distracting. You don't want to be that distracting person on the other side, right? So grab a sticky note and draw a smiley face on it, just like that, and stick it right next to the camera on your laptop. And just remind to look into the smiley space while you speak. I mean, we're social species. You don't really have to remind yourself. It's right there, right? And pro tip, you want to draw it upside down. So you want the stickiness to be on the bottom and the face to be upside down from the direction that you would usually use a sticky note. Tip number two, your perceived energy drops a lot when you're viewed through a screen. So what do I mean by that? For example, on a TV screen, if you saw that somebody, let's say, hops up on a table at a restaurant, it comes across crazy or funny or whatever it was intended to be, but only by a little bit. It's just not that weird of a scene on TV. But imagine somebody actually did that at a restaurant while you were there. The emotional impact of watching that would have been so much larger. The scene would be so much more memorable. You would perceive the energy from the scene as much larger. The reason for this discrepancy is because, in technical terms, the screen zaps away your energy by 50%. What this means for you is if you don't want to be perceived as a low energy, unmemorable person, you need to amp up your energy before your call. Go for a run, do jumping jacks, or just scream really loud. Just do something strong to your body to bring your energy level up before you call. And try to maintain this energy level during the interview. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to pretend to be somebody else, but it's more like trying to be more of yourself, a better, stronger version of yourself. Kind of if you had to go on stage and give a talk or something like that. And number three, if you have a standing desk or somewhere to stand and take the interview, consider doing that. It helps keep your energy high, so use it. Also, just bring it in front of the window or a window, clean up the background, and you are good to go. So those are my three best tips on how to do well in a virtual interview, in addition to all the regular interview preparation. But also pay attention to all the standard advice pertaining to virtual interviews, like make sure you're well lit. Lighting is very important. In front of a window is a great place to take a call. Most people don't have, at home really well good lighting for videos. So just move in front of a window and that will take care of a lot of that. Make sure your background is clean and it looks good, and try to bring your camera up to eye level. If you're using a laptop, that means you'll probably have to stack something tall, pretty tall, underneath it to bring it up to eye level. And make sure you turn off all notifications for both your phone and computer, and make sure your internet is strong and good. Don't let anybody stream videos on Wi-Fi while you do this. You really need the best connection you have. And lock the room door. Don't let anybody come in. Record yourself in the exact setting you plan on taking the interview and watch it first and tweak anything if you need to. And just a little word about the background. I know virtual backgrounds are really popular these days, and if you just cannot find a suitable place for the call, this is definitely a good option for you to explore. However, I just want to make sure that you know that it's pretty obvious to the person on the other side that the background is virtual unless you are using a well-prepared green screen along with it, which most people don't have. I know a little bit about this for two reasons. Number one, I often hop on calls where the other person is using a virtual background. It's just so obvious, it's evident. It doesn't bother me in terms of talking to the other person, but I don't know if that other person knows that it's so obvious that it's a virtual background. And the second reason is because I've done some research on this. I've considered using a virtual background when I'm filming these YouTube videos. At the end of the day, for me, I decided not to do this. Personally, if it's going to be obvious that I'm using a virtual background, I would rather not use it. And I mean, even though this background isn't particularly exciting, I would rather use this than to use a virtual background that is obviously a virtual background. I mean, that's just me. It's a personal choice. Unless you're using a green screen properly, a green screen, not just use a green screen, but you have to use the green screen well. Unless you do that, the edges of your body, like your shoulder and stuff, and your hair looks just weird and kind of blurred into the background. Parts of it look missing, if that makes sense. Yeah, and your computer will have a hard time processing hair and movement. And we're not moving a lot, but still, I'm moving, right? And look at how much movement my hair is going through when I just shake my head. And it's not good at processing that. So I just wanted to share this with you so that, you just have the information to make the best decision for yourself. If you've been invited for a virtual interview, I would highly recommend getting professional help from somebody who has experience interviewing other people. Interviewers on our team have plenty of experience interviewing others, and we would love to help you do well on your interview. So if you're interested in working with us, check out Interview Mastery, which is linked up below for more information. This is Dr. Alyssa from International Dentist Central, your companion in your journey to becoming a U.S. dentist. I hope you found this video helpful. Please subscribe, hit the bell, and like this video. And if you have any other topics that you'd like me to talk about, feel free to comment below. I'm always looking for ideas. Until next time.